IVM.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. Hi, Ayushi.
Hi, Tash.
You have joined us on a new episode of Agla Station Adulthood in the year
2020.
Woo!
Also, fun fact, this is our 20th episode.
तो मतलब wow, 20ception चल रहा है यहाँ 2020 20ception.
And then a second, well, it is a fact, I guess, and it is a fun fact. Today is the 7th of Jan when we're recording, and yesterday was Tash's birthday.
Where I turned 27. So look at the numbers. Are you a numerologist, Ayushi?
Just trying to get all the best vibes possible from whichever gods are providing.
Whichever, yes. Yeah, it was my happy birthday yesterday.
So a happy belated birthday from me and all our listeners.
Thank you all for listening and for all the love that you give us. We are grateful. And in general, little note to my personal fam on the social media. You all have given a lot of love these past couple of days, and I'm grateful for that. So, Ayushi, I'm seeing you also after many days, no?
I saw you yesterday.
Haan, matlab, it was a very flying visit. She came and met me for 1 second and bounced.
Okay, I had a lot of... I know, I'm sorry. It was your birthday. I should have stayed for longer.
I'm not shaming you. Why are you saying sorry like that?
Because I did feel bad that I could not spend more time with you on your special day. But you knew and you very nicely understood that I had some commitments, which was the adult thing to do.
Absolutely.
That's
100%.
very true. And I thought about it yesterday when I was driving home after that entire mammoth day. I just thought, you know what? I'm so glad that she didn't get mad. She wasn't upset. It was just, it is what it is. I had some prior commitments. The timings didn't work out and I couldn't spend the entire evening with you.
And anyway, also the adult thing that happened to me this year at 12 midnight on the 5th night when it became the 6th, it was my birthday.
Right.
Like nobody called me. None of my friends called me to wish me except for one friend. And then I was like, oh, do I really feel bad that nobody has called me? I was like, not at all. Even I'm sleepy. I'm sure they're sleeping. Poor things. Everyone's working. It was a Sunday night. And these are the thoughts I'm having. I was like, actually, thank God I was not in the mood. Only even I want to go to sleep.
So mine was a combination of, do I call to disturb you, given that you were going through some stuff of your own, which we will get into, and then I texted you after, like,
you
at 1
messaged me
a.m.
at 1:30, Aisha. I was long lost into bed by then.
I know. I apologize.
No, it's not your fault. I should have stayed awake because in the morning I saw your message. I was like, shit, if I'd stayed awake till 1:27.
We could have chatted.
I know. Then I would have felt, oh, wow, more friends have called me at night to wish me. But remember when we were kids, this whole midnight thing was the big deal.
And who calls first?
Who calls first? Then who has come to your house with cake?
I
All this
honestly
dumb
just
shit.
don't care about that anymore.
Not at all. Let me sleep.
I mean, and not just let me sleep. I think whoever wants to do this for each other, go ahead. But I don't think there should be any compulsion.
Yeah.
Also, we all work during the week, and staying up till 12:30, 1
On a
a.m.
Sunday night, how to know?
It's just not possible.
No. We are adults in that way, though, for sure.
Correct. Now let's get back to our episode.
Yeah, what are we going to call this episode, Ayushi?
Once again, friends, we have got an episode where we're not entirely sure where we're going with it. And as you know how that thrills me. Just before we started recording, Tash was like, don't worry, we'll find it. And I was like, oh God, the stress has entered my
from
body.
the heart, I told her, and then she started like convulsing.
So then she quickly said, speak from the mind.
Yes.
Now I'm calm.
Now Ayushi is under control.
But what we are going to do is a quick wrap up from when we took a break last. So the last time we recorded actually was before
Christmas.
Yeah, so it was around, I think, Jan 17th, 16th. December 16th,
yeah.
17th, if I'm not mistaken. And now it's Jan 7th. So it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
End of year went by, start of the year. So we're going to stop at a couple of those signposts.
Actually, you are here to listen to me and Ayushi catch up with each other.
Yeah, we haven't seen each other in a while.
And you all also haven't seen us in a while. So I think it's important as a friend circle, you, me,
our community
all of us,
of ASA.
Of ASA. Wow, Ayushi. Wow. Hamara pod community jo hai, I think it's important that
Podcom.
Podcom. Oh my God. It's like .com.
Exactly. That's why I said Podcom. The ASA Podcom.
Yes, it's good for us to do a communal rechat, regrouping.
Yes. And
So
so
you
we're
say.
going to do that. We're going to do some resolutions that we've taken.
On that note, later I'll tell you my resolution.
And we've had some personal developments in the last 3 weeks. So
Which
we're going
are
to discuss
very
that.
significant to the adulting factors of
Yes.
life.
So let's jump right in.
Right into it. I just want to.
I wish that right now we had the theme music come in right now. No, don't do this. Please don't. The music should have come in right now when we said jump into it. And you were like, dun, 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 and then you come in. Right?
Okay,
No?
so assuming you've come in after this theme music which Ayushi has given. Ayushi, why don't you give us a little bit of a catch-up situation? How was your Christmas? What went down? I know you took a trip with your fam.
I did. I took a short vacation just before Christmas. I was back before Christmas. And I took a trip with my grandparents and my parents and my brother, who's in town right now. He doesn't live here. And we had a wonderful time. We went to this lovely place called Kabini in Karnataka. And I fulfilled one of my fondest desires, which was to see elephants in the wild.
They're the best.
And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you just know how obsessed I am with baby elephants and whales. Like, those are my two.
That's why you're obsessed with me.
No, what? Did you just call yourself a baby elephant and a whale?
Yes, it all makes sense now.
I don't understand. Do you want me to say that you shouldn't like size shame yourself? Or I don't understand.
No, yeah, not size shaming, but it's because they're so pure and cute, just like me.
And the fact that when you hug me,
I'm large.
and like I feel engulfed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I imagine that's
Wholesome.
what it. Yes, that's what it is.
If an elephant were to hug you.
You know, when I was a kid, I have sat on an elephant and they have the pokiest hair ever on their back. So it is not like a cuddly animal.
No.
But anyway, I fulfilled that little desire of mine. We saw a massive kind of family of elephants feeding and washing and bathing on the riverbanks. And there were 2 babies and there was like, you could make out the matriarch and there were other ones. And then a tusker, like a giant Indian elephant tusker came next to them as well. And it was just so magnificent and humbling at the same time to be able to see them in their natural habitat. And I was very, very close to tears. And I think that's the closest I've
That's
been.
huge for Ayushi, our listeners. Ye
But-
hoti nahi hai.
Yeah, but I was so moved by it.
course.
And sometimes when you have that fulfillment of one small thing and the universe gives it to you, it was lovely.
There's something to be said about being in nature and in that kind of wild
Yes.
situation, like that. So, like that setting visually, like feeling wise, it invokes. It comes back to that thing of beauty we'd spoken about a couple of episodes ago, and this would be
Yeah.
part of that.
Absolutely.
Feeling of beauty
That's so
of
true
nature.
because even the quote that we talked about in beauty was about why we as human beings have certain predisposed ideas of beauty and why nature as one really appeals to us is because it's at some prehistoric level. But you're right, and that article was definitely right because I had all those feelings when I was in this very natural state. And the place that we stayed was lovely because it was very like eco-friendly and there was no plastic and it was trying to be like very
As low key
neutral.
as possible
Yes.
in this natural setting. What other animals you saw?
We did see a tiger
Ooh,
from far, but we saw
Giraffe?
one. Thankfully, no. The real one, as my nanny said, Vag. I didn't know Vag was tiger.
I
in
love. Oh, you didn't know
Gujarati.
Vag Bakri Chai? They have that Vag face on the packaging. Now they can sponsor the show.
Now it makes sense. But we saw a tiger. We saw a lot of birds.
Nice.
Which, by the way, are very, very important to the ecosystem. All of that. We saw a vulture, which are so rare.
Yeah.
The guy told us that it's even more rare or rarer than seeing a tiger or seeing a vulture.
Because they all went extinct.
Yeah, they've been going extinct. We saw alligators. That was
Oh.
kind of cool. Like actually sunbathing alligators.
Very nice. Just chilling hard.
These deers and sambals are like dime a dozen.
Dime a dozen, man. That's Samba deer life.
But again, magnificent to see animals thriving in their natural space. And it makes you just have that renewed respect. So I really like that was the feeling that I went into 2020 with. Kind of like
Beautiful.
your commitment to the environment and the world at large. So that was before Christmas. New Year's was fine. Took a day off and went to Alibag with a bunch of my friends. It was very low key, but again, super chill. There was no pretense, no
Got
makeup.
thrown into a pool. I
Yes,
hear.
I did.
And she was pooled at a cold night.
Shout out to Mehek, who does not listen to this. You little bee. But I love you. So it's fine. It was great. It's been a lovely festive season. And now we're going into wedding season. So I'm very
it's a lot
stressed.
of things on things happening. A lot of community feels going on. A lot of family feels. It's really been a time of that.
Yeah,
No,
right
for
now
you-
I have family visiting
Yeah.
as well. I have my family from Australia, my mum's side of the family who's visiting, and we haven't seen them in a really long time. They haven't come to India in close to like 8-9 years.
Wild.
So, and they're staying at home. My grandparents have moved in as well, so we can all be under one roof. And
Ayushi is
not gonna
Cinderella.
lie. No. My mom is actually Cinderella. I'm like Cinderella's assistant. Like that bird that chirps. Anyway, it's been a lot of the sense of family and appreciation and kind of looking at your roots
It's
and
a very
seeing where you're
wholesome
from,
kind of time,
where
no?
you're coming from, and what your legacy and your tribe looks like. And I have been feeling all those feelings. And as a resolution that I was talking to you, like the whole growth aspect of 2019 versus 2020 was allowing yourself to feel those feelings and acknowledge them, understand why they're coming to you, process it in a healthy way, and kind of file them down under like appreciation, or this makes me mad, or this makes me happy, and kind of find more the joy in things as opposed to the complaints, because it hasn't been 100% easy to have 8 people living under one roof, especially for a family that's not used to it, because year round it's just the 3 of us usually, and now there's 8, so that's a lot. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been a lot of fun.
I particularly enjoy this time of the year, especially like the first week after New Year's, because you may forget other moments of the year, but this time of every year, you'll kind of remember where you were at, like mentally,
100%.
emotionally. So it's kind of nice as a check-in with yourself. Like last year at this time, what was I feeling? How was I?
I fully remember what 2019, the first 10
week,
days were, that entire phase. And it's so different from what my 2020 looks like.
Then again, after 10 days, we'll be back to sharing memes about 2020 also being a failure. I hope not, though.
I saw a meme already on Jan 1st that said 2021 is going to be my year. And I was like, guys, let's at least
Give it a chance.
Or give yourself a chance.
I have to
That's
say,
one
meme
thing.
culture is now not a good thing for this. It's very like self-deprecatory.
And it's very humorous. I love to
it.
meme. Memes are life. But there's a lot of negative ones as well that like give up before you start.
Yeah, or also because we relate to them hard also.
Yeah. And one thing that I wanted to say at the end, but I'll say it now, is just, I think we need to stop blaming the year if we've had a bad one. Like, 2019 sucked. 2017 was such a bad. We need to take a little more responsibility for our interaction with the world around us, I think.
True.
That's if you want to have a good year and you want to start it on a...
It is like the thing you shared with us this morning. It's about the the frequency at which you vibrate as a person.
That's one of my new things.
Okay, we'll chat about that later.
Yeah. So, Tash, how was your December going into Jan?
My December going into Jan, as usual, I've started to repeat the question because it gives me time to think about my answer.
If you tell people this, then they're going to know why you're doing
They'll know
it.
my tricks, no? Then I'll help another person who's struggling with an answer, maybe.
By the way, this is a very normal trick that a lot of people do. And as you said, you've still not answered the question.
I was working till December 23rd. But on the 22nd, a friend of mine came to visit from drama school. So we studied together in Singapore for 3 years, from 2011 to 2014. And we were best of friends in acting school. Then at the end of the program, she moved to Germany to learn Deutsch. Shout out to Mez, that's her name. So finally, after 5 years, we met, which is
That's
wild.
amazing. And
So
she's lovely.
She is. She also got to meet her. So in drama school at the end, in year 3, we had a module called Professional World, okay?
Right.
And in Professional World, they would teach us like tricks of the trade, like how do you write a cover letter, how you have, when you have to send, it's very professional, which nobody teaches anyone in Bombay, I feel, and we don't even use it here. So you have to prepare your headshot with the CV behind. It's more offish than...
I learned that from Joey in Friends.
Yeah, correct. It's a bit like that. Not like how apna industry chalta hai, madam kuch photos WhatsApp kar lo. Which yesterday someone has messaged me.
Oh my God, the tea's got up my nose.
Ayushi, are you okay? Literally, yesterday I got a message saying, ma'am, kuch photos WhatsApp kar do na. Literally, I was like, who are you? Why should I send?
But in general, like work ethic and culture in this country, I sent you the message I got today, right? I reminded one of our clients about an outstanding invoice. I swear to God, the reply I got was like, Inshallah, ma'am, it will happen by Friday. I was like,
sorry for the delays. So I assume there have been many. This is not the first delay.
no. But I like that he just put like God's name into it straight.
God willing, it will happen. Means you have to tell your accounts department, no?
What do you mean God willing? Did I say that when you asked me for the work? Did I say God willing, my guy will show up? No. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so I was telling you in professional world class, we had this module, which was not a module, sorry. The module itself is professional.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had to write a 5-year plan. And our teacher, shout out to Mr. Adam Marple, the best teacher on earth. One of.
Is this one you had a crush on?
I wouldn't call it a crush because that's inappropriate. But I deeply love Adam till this day. It's not even a crush. It's more like I just want to be his best friend. I want him to be my best friend.
Right. Okay.
Adam told us to write a 5-year plan. So the day we were at in 2014, he said 5 years from this day, write a plan whatever you're doing a day in your life 5 years from now. So Mez and I decided we'll make our 5-year plans overlap, and like suppose we're both doing well in our lives, blah blah blah, whatever, and we've taken a trip to Croatia 5 years later. We have written this 5 years ago that we're taking a trip. Of course, Croatia to hone se raha, but then finally this year we were like, we have to meet somehow. It's been 5 years. How?
That is amazing.
So then she was like, I'll come to Bombay in December. I was like, yes, please come. I would love that. Yeah, so that is literally how we planned.
Hey, but that means you made a 5-year goal happen.
We really did.
That's brilliant.
Somehow, it worked out. It may not always be the way you had imagined it, but in fact, it was even better because she got to come here and see my life and meet my family and friends. And she stayed in my home for a week and we chilled hard.
You really did.
We really did. I took her to Elephanta Caves, and Miss is very observant and she loves to travel and she's interested in our culture, actually. And I also love to share about our culture. So
she's a very articulate person, I have to say. When I met her, it was an enjoyable evening. We got into politics, of course.
With my father, of course, who is like a whole other story. But there were 3 people chatting and I was quiet in this. Ayushi, Mez and my dad were having a conversation.
I know. I was eating dinner, just alone eating prawns while they were talking. I was like, right. Very true. Terrible state of affairs. Nom, nom, nom.
Nom, nom, nom. Yeah, so it was just so nice to meet a dear friend who you'd like spent every single day with for 3 years and then suddenly not met them for 5 years straight. So we had plenty to catch up about. And an exchange of culture. She came from Germany with one German cake.
I don't want to talk about this cake.
She didn't like it because there are raisins in it. She has a personal war on raisins. So anyone else out there who doesn't like raisins, please slide into Ayushi's DM. She has.
I'm a grape enthusiast, a wine lover. Yeah. However, this shriveled form of the fruit is unappealing to me.
Yeah. Ayushi is a person who loves moisture. Like you put moisturizer all the time. So if your skin gets dry, it'll look like a raisin.
Maybe that's what it is.
And that's your entire phobia stems from having dry skin.
I don't think anyone wants to hear this, Dash. Tell us about your December.
My December was a good only. So then Mez was here and then she left. And anyway, my plan was to go to spend New Year's with my Dada Dadi. Because it's been like a few months of my Dada's health not being like wow.
It's been deteriorating.
Yeah, it's so, steady old age, that thing. Just, the circle of life and death. I'm a southern person now because I don't know how to process emotions. So I'm a put on an accent. Then I went to Navsari where my Dada Dadi live. And actually, the last day before Mez was leaving, my aunt called and she was like, Dadu himself is feeling like he's going to go soon. Because I think at that age, sometimes
they
people
have some
figure
sort
it
of
out.
Intuition, yeah.
So then I was like freaking out on the last day before Mez when I was like, should I go today? Mez, will you be okay in Bombay alone and all that? Then I was like, no problem. I'll drop her to the airport and then leave that night only. So I did. I got there on Sunday morning, which was the 29th of December. Spent New Year's over there. Beautiful. New Year's Eve, we all did cheers and all. And then New Year's Day, what up? Dadu's like, I'm out, bitches. And he has bounced. So
To his heavenly abode.
yeah, to really like mukti. He's just like, yeah, you all deal with this shitty world and it's deteriorating, shitty people. I'm gonna live in the afterlife realm or whatever. So then he left on 1st of Jan. Then we have literally been
Coping and
dealing
with
with that. And then on the 5th was his birthday, and yesterday was my birthday. So I'm a puddle of emotions right now. Not to mention just hormonal emotions also, because it's supposed to be the time of the month for me, but it's on hold due to funeral rituals. So this is the first time in my life I've even taken the period delaying tablet. I don't even
Wait,
know.
you have to do it?
My dadi called this morning and she said, just do it till the terma is over, the tervi or whatever, the 13th PM.
Oh, well, I mean, personally don't agree with that, but whatever.
Yeah,
do what you gotta
so
do.
same. No, I mean, but you have whatever. Now in these times, I'm like, I will listen to you, Dadi, 100%.
And it's one of those things of like, do you really want to take a stand on this right now?
No, not at the time or the place.
Yeah. But so
yeah.
it's not been an easy.
It's been adult in that sense. Because also this is the first death I've ever coped with in my life.
In fact, when you, not to like plug our own podcast while we're recording it, that's silly. But when this was going on and we were speaking, and I think I remember you texting me randomly one day being like, I would really like to do an episode on life and death and like mortality at large. And at first I was looking at it, I was like, oh, she's just saying this right now because she's going through this. But then the more I thought about it as well, I said, that's a very adult concept. And it's something that young adults have to deal with because this is a time in our life where it's possible that you might lose some of your elderly relatives or even actually anyone. Losing anyone, like from a pet to a like a person.
Any near or dear one.
It's hard.
Yeah, and we are now officially at that age where it's not such a new thing for us to hear about a death.
Yeah, and you can't really fall completely apart because you have, like you said, the minute it happened, you had to get into the whole planning and how to do this, and there's all these logistical.
Yeah, dude, when someone dies, like you have to plan zillion things. It's just like, wait a minute.
The logistics of death is tedious.
And now, luckily, we have enough privilege to even do it properly.
Yeah.
Then I got into this whole other space of thinking people who must be dying alone or without family or without resources. What must happen then? How do they deal? And all of that also. So it was just a very I'm shaking my body right now because I don't have a word for it. But I guess it was a shakening
harrowing
truth. Yeah. That to be just confronted with it finally after 27 years.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. And we were all with him in the moment where he breathed his last. So literally, I was talking to a friend this morning. I was like, is it better to die alone or is it better to die surrounded by family and then your family has to watch you die? But of course, we came to the conclusion that maybe it's not about you ever. It's about the person who's dying. So for them, of course, they want to be surrounded by everyone. And, but just that thing of, they are there for 1 second, just 1 second before they are just breathing.
And then
they're just gone. And you're like, oh shit, is this it? First, when he passed, I was also confused. I was like, I just looked at our family friend who's a doctor who also happened to be there at the time. I was just like, is he gone? He was like, yeah. I just couldn't understand because you don't, I've never seen somebody die.
Right.
So I was just, wow, this is what happens.
It's a very complicated time, that couple of minutes. And actually, the minute you see that happen, at least in my experience with a few that I have witnessed, actually the first thing I did was look at the person most directly related to them. So it's like with my grandparents, I straight looked first to my father because I was like, this is about him. I mean, of course, I was grieving, but it's more about him because he just lost his parents.
Exactly.
When it came to losing my aunt, who I was very, very close to, the first thing I did was look at her kids because that's who lost the main person.
Yeah.
So I think it goes back to what you said. It's really not about you personally. It's kind of about that person.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think in that question, I would rather be surrounded by the people that I love.
Or
that loved me.
For sure. Because it was a really beautiful send-off also in that sense. You would want to be,
I think that's a hope that we all have, that you've lived a
Yeah.
life that's full and good enough.
Exactly.
That in your last moments, you
It is
are
a
only
mark
with
of
the
how
people
you've
you
lived
love.
your life, I think, also.
And the people who love you.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's what happened, and it was the big truth that, like, there is no other truth. That, like,
Yeah.
death is the ultimate truth.
Leveler.
Yeah, man. Like, and it's also the biggest mystery because human beings can't understand it. So we have no way of
Processing it.
yeah, as soon as we understand something and we logically know about it, then we are like bored with that thing, or it's like, yeah, okay, this is what it is, or whatever. But death is so mysterious because you gotta die to understand what happened after that.
But I think that's why we even, at some level, perhaps, that's also one of the reasons why we probably came up with the concept of afterlives and what happens after you pass.
Yeah, all these
through these
various
multiple
theories,
religious
yeah.
interpretations is also because you want to make sense of something.
Yeah.
And until you do that, you don't get closure. So I think when you, if you, suppose you are someone who accepts that after death, XYZ happens based on what your faith system is, then you'll be able to make a lot more peace with the loss of that person because you know
100%.
that, hey, they're not here, but this is where their soul has gone, or this is their trajectory into rebirth, or this is where that person's resting place is going to be, or they've done enough good, so they've probably gone to heaven, or whatever
Yeah.
that is. And I think it's just the way human beings, like, we've created this system so we can cope.
But I really do feel these rituals and these systems help.
But that's
because-
why these are those benefits of religious institutions
Yeah.
and faith-based.
And community also
Community,
comes
yeah.
in at this time, because as soon as it happens, suddenly it's like everyone is at your house, everyone is ready to help, everyone is
Yeah,
pitching
yeah.
in, and there's all these like rituals and these songs you have to sing, and you light this one diya every day, and they say that the body may be gone, like, but the spirit lingers on for. In Hinduism, they say for 13 days the energies linger.
Really?
Apparently, this is what I've heard. From 13 days he'll be lingering, apparently. Or my dad reckons he's got moksha and he has bounced already. But who knows? Now these are the theories, no?
I know.
We don't know. We could sit and theorize forever.
I used to kind of wish that when I first read, and I know this is a bit juvenile, but when I first read Harry Potter,
It
and like
was
the entire
that,
concept
yeah.
of ghosts that they had, I used to think that what if they could, what if that was a real thing,
Epic.
that you could have them still here, and they wouldn't take up any space or resources, so it would still be okay.
You can chat with them.
Yeah, but as a kid, I guess you're just kind of trying to find a way to hold on to someone that you've lost. So that's why you think of it that way. But I don't know, maybe it's for the best.
I have to say though, on that note, that Harry Potter did help me cope greatly.
I sent you the quote.
You did. Which one?
The one that for the
after a well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. Yeah. Dear Albus said it. And even the other thing which Albus Dumbledore had said, and I mean, it became one of the famous quotes: "Do not pity the dead, Harry, pity the living, and above all, those who live without love."
Yes.
And I was like, damn, that's so true.
No, I mean, those books in general were, they helped a lot of, they really helped, I think, us mature and evolve and understand a lot of basic concepts like friendship, family, love, courage, bravery, sacrifice. And it's so nice that they have helped us so many years later on, and we still get to, absorb and gain things from those books. So shout out to JK.
Really, though, Harry Potter is my Bible. It's my religion.
It's your religion?
Swear, I just love it like anything.
You worship at the altar of...
Hogwarts?
No. Which was your
The
favorite book?
Potterverse. It's a tough one. I can't choose now, but for a long time, the third book was my favorite.
Yes.
I read it like many times.
For a long time, I think Azkaban was my favorite.
Yeah.
Only because it was the introduction of Sirius.
You liked Sirius from the books only?
I liked him from the books. I had a huge crush on him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't healthy, but I did.
Interesting.
And I was a big fan of like Ron over Harry in terms of like the character development. So I was very angry at the way that the movies actually treated Sirius and Ron.
Right.
But I was very happy with the way that things played out in the books because there was that whole culmination. But we've gone down a very different path.
You know what? There's no... Harry Potter is relevant always.
That's true.
in every conversation.
It helped you cope. I think that's relevant. But let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
You and I can discuss which book actually helped us the most.
See you
be
on
right
the
back.
other side.
Hey everybody, welcome to another amazing week on the IVM Podcast Network. You know what? Not just an amazing week, this is going to be an amazing year. We're looking forward to all the stuff that we're going to bring you in 2020. Please remember to fill out our survey, ivmpodcast.com/survey. That's going to really help us know what you guys want from us from 2020 as well, right? I mean, we'd really like to hear from you, so please do fill out that survey. It would be very helpful. Also, would like to thank our sponsors on the network this week. We have Intel, Cambly, and Storytel. Also, if you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's a week of milestones. We have a couple of milestones this week. Geek Fruit released the 300th episode this week. What a journey it's been. Join Tejas and Dinkar as they celebrate this milestone by talking about HBO's new hit show, Watchmen. Actually, surprisingly, at this point, Geek Fruit is the second oldest show on our network, so it's definitely a show if you haven't checked out, please do check out. Another milestone that we have is it's the 50th episode of our Kannada show, Thale Harate. So definitely do check that stuff out. And as for the rest of our regular programming, on Cyrus Says this week, Cyrus talks to actor Neil Bhopalam. On Advertising is Dead, Varun is joined by Anto Philip and Shreyas Jain, the founders of Under 25, to talk about how the Under 25 Summit came about and how they're building youth experiences by engaging in unique ways. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vineet is joined by co-founder and CEO of Terribly Tiny Tales, Anuj Gosalia, and founder of Pocket Aces, Anirudh Pandita. They discuss how they manage the creative versus business conflict at the heart of any entertainment company. On the 50th episode of Thale Harate, Pawan discusses CAA, NRC, and police reforms with Alok Prasanna and Saryu Natarajan, hosts of Ganatantra. They give insights on the current political scenario of the country and its implications on various sections of society. On Paperback, Rachita and Satyajit are in conversation with the host of Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav Momoria, who shares his love of reading books that redefine travel for him. And with that, let's get on with your show.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the break.
And obviously listen to all the podcasts that Amit was telling you to listen to.
Yes.
But finish this one first. So we discussed a whole bunch of stuff, how our last 3-4 weeks have gone while you guys weren't plugged in. We do want to discuss a couple more things before we get into resolutions, which is where we want to wrap up.
Yes.
So first, the reason we wanted to actually discuss this entire episode and get into it is because we thought that the idea of coping with mortality and death and the finality of certain things is something that young adults and baby adults like us need to learn how to deal with.
Absolutely. And also just the conversation around these things isn't very there.
Yeah.
Families and our culture at large, there's a fear of death. And recently someone told me that every other fear boils down to the fear of death. Every fear you have, the root of that is the fear of death. So I think society at large is so afraid of death, and it's something we don't speak about enough, and it's something to be feared, or it's something looked at as scary. Maybe if we chat about it and unpack it a bit, we can understand that it is what it is. It's nothing to be scared of. I mean, of course, there's different types of death.
Yeah.
When it's an old age death, all the more you acha theek hai, no problem at all. And then the ones you can't really explain, when a young person dies or some tragic murder,
I think
and all
those,
that.
I think even those, the ones that you don't see coming, I think those are the ones that people struggle with the most.
Absolutely.
And we hear a lot of stories and a lot of, secondhand tales or whatever from people that have lost people through very traumatic circumstances. I feel not like that graceful old age kind of just, okay, now they're going, bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's been,
a
we know
simple
so many
example,
people who,
like you fall into a pothole during monsoon in Bombay.
Yeah,
which is,
so those accidental deaths versus then I think something that we never talk about, and we still that hush is the people who take their own lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes knowing someone who's done that or being in an environment where you are aware of someone who's done that, it is really hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to deal with that and come to terms with it. And I don't want to just be like, oh, you should go to therapy. I don't think that's...
But even Ayushi, as simple as speaking to a friend.
Yes, that's what I mean.
These things help so much.
Open up the conversation around loss.
Yeah.
You're allowed to feel the pain of loss.
100%. There is a mourning period, and there is a whole system to accepting grief finally, So if we don't go through that...
Yeah, those five stages and everything, But so I think you shouldn't fight it. Everyone has a different coping mechanism. Like you just did weird accents that were misplaced and not from any specific region.
I'm from Texas, Ayushi.
No, that was horrendous.
You're so mean to me.
I
You're so mean.
You have to look at the face she's making. She's just like cocked her head to the side and be like, you're so mean to me.
My other coping mechanism, while I was there, my job was to just make everybody laugh. I was behaving like the class clown over there since 1 week.
So that's a lot of stress on you,
Bro,
though.
no, I was dying. Then I came back to Bombay yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I haven't had time to process this myself because I've just been making everybody laugh. So yeah, there are different ways to process and it will happen in your time and your space.
Right. So don't fight it. I think you should just let the grief wash over you.
Yeah.
And I think we've read it in various different books and literature as well as shows and memes or whatever, is that grief comes in waves. And it comes to you at the oddest of times.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's happening and it just hits you.
Yeah.
There's this really funny, she's a comedian / little sketch performer and a writer, Alyssa Limperis. And she wrote this lovely letter in the New York Times. It was like one of those like op-ed that they write, and it was on loss for her father. And it was about grief and how it's so unexpected. And I really liked it because I think it didn't matter whether you lost a person or a friend or a relationship or a loved one or whatever it is. It's just about grief.
And it's dealing with that feeling, because it's not a feeling that I would... Not everyone deals with it every day. It's not something that you're confronted with 24 hours of a day. So it's one of those feelings also which we haven't been taught to deal with very well.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's so important, like to even like this woman to have written this piece.
Yeah.
And
because I think we've said it in the podcast a couple of times, there are different ways to deal with your feelings, like writing, talking about it, listening to music, exercising, whatever it is, to get that energy out of you.
Yeah.
But allow it. And it is the adult thing to do, to reach for help in this time.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that again to anybody, to you as well, and to anyone listening, that if you are experiencing a sense of loss and grief and you're mourning for something, you're allowed to do that. Just don't let it consume you.
Yeah.
Find a way to know that it is okay to go through it and to live through it, but you have to live through it. Through it means you have to come out on the other side.
Of course.
That's kind of what I mean when I say don't let it consume you. You find the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. Well, that's a very basic metaphor, analogy, or whatever.
But it's such now you 100% Ayushi, like today I'm 27 as of yesterday. And the week before I turned 27, I dealt with grief and death and loss for the first time in my life. And now, like literally in a span of 5 days, I don't know what has changed inside of me, but I feel more grown up than I did last week. Like in the last week of 2019.
But these things do age you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you see someone, you're like, my God, you look like you've aged in 1 week.
Yeah.
But it does age you.
And this is maybe not even such a big loss to have.
No, but this is adulthood.
Yeah.
This thing, right, that you are in right now, what you're doing right now, that's you're adulting.
Yeah.
You're hardcore adulting right now. Well done.
Thanks.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll get past it.
Of course.
And it'll be nice to look back on this time and say, hey, I coped, I did it well, and my grandfather's in a better place.
Yeah.
So would you like to discuss it any further, or do you feel like safe and you've spoken?
I'm okay. Thank you, Ayushi, for giving me this time and space. Ayushi and I were wondering what should this episode be about, and we were chatting about it till like 4 p.m. today. And I told her, Ayushi, I am so like unable to think. Only right now I'm having too many feelings. Yesterday I went for an audition. While waiting for the audition, I'm like crying. Because also sometimes you're like receiving condolences, also some really heartfelt ones. You're like, oh God, that's such a nice way of wording it or whatever. And then that like invokes more feelings in you.
And it was your birthday, which is such a, again, it's
Charged
a time of
time.
reflection and you're kind of looking inwards and outwards and everyone's sending you all these nice messages and
Just a mess, a puddle of emotions, more than usual.
we should read out the message that I sent you and the message that you took from it and what I
I
actually
want to read
meant
it
to
out.
say.
I think it's really comical. You can read out a little part of it. Which one? You can read the paragraph which you're interested in reading.
I'll read it to them and then you guys tell me whether it was rude
It's
of
the
me
best
to say.
message ever. Firstly, it's a beautiful message, and I was smiling and crying through it. And that's not the message I took away from it, Ayushi.
Do you want me to read the whole one or just the last bit?
You decide whatever you want to share with the readers, listeners.
I wrote a lot of things, so like a nice long
But I want to
birthday
read the
wish.
first part, which is great.
Okay, fine.
My squishiest, kissiest, huggiest, tishiest Tash. Happy 27th birthday. It's 27 journeys around the sun. It's 27 birthday cakes. It's 27 sets of memories. It's 27 different adventures. It's 27 years of love, joy, and growth. That was real nice.
And then I wrote like a whole bunch of stuff about our journey, personal accomplishments.
How much she loves me.
Yes, all of that.
Her
and
obsession with me. And she said, I want to be old with you and all also. This is so sweet. I want to be an old weathered woman with you. Aishi, I loved that line.
Yeah.
Because even I want to be an old weathered woman
The
with
reason
you.
I said weathered is because I was saying that we've weathered
Weather whatever.
many storms, so we'll weather what comes next. And then I said, I want to be weathered with you.
Beautiful, no? Full on white hair, crinkle, wrinkles, shuffling into the recording studio. She has written all this. Still dispensing advice.
And lighting up whatever a joint looks like in 2080. I don't know what it's going to look like then.
What is it going to look like? Then now you go to the last part.
Okay. I meant this as a nice comparison or like a nice little thought. And anyway, you tell me what you thought. I said, you're like the colorful pebble you find at the beach. You pick it up because it dared to stand out. It might not be the smoothest pebble or the best shaped one or even the prettiest color. But this pebble is so unabashedly itself amongst the millions of grey that you can't help but love it. Thank you for being my colorful pebble. You will always sit on my dressing table and remind me of a beautiful day at the beach. And
So beautiful.
my message was truly that you remind me of the day at the beach, which I think is the nicest thing I could say to somebody. What did she reply?
Wait, you're not telling what's in the brackets. I was not even looking at that last part, but then Ayushi I've not replied yet. So 12:02 she sends the wish, and at 12:04 she says, my pebble analogy is not intended to be a commentary on your physical appearance. Know that you're my beauty queen forever. So you drew attention to the fact that you have called me an unsmooth, out of shape, ugly colored pebble. That is actually what you said. Otherwise, I was like, wow, kya message likha Ayushi, my heart is so full, I'm crying and all.
And then she has replied, out of shape, ugly pebble. But special, I cry. I felt so, but I knew that you would read that and be like, what does she mean? I'm not pretty. I am beauty queen.
Wait, now I've gone on and said, no, I'm like, I'm the prettiest and all.
I have replied saying, I knew this would happen. I'm sorry. It's my actual mistake. I'm not a real writer. I felt it when I hit send. I felt it in my bones. I even thought she's going to see the pebble bit and be like, what the bitch?
But no, Ayushi, you made my day. I loved it. I just love it. If I am Pebbles, you are Bam Bam.
Yes.
Does that work for you?
Yes, it does. Because I am aggressively just breaking things.
Bam Bam!
What were we talking about before that this came? Birthday. That messages and all.
Yeah,
it is a big time. Definitely.
Yeah.
So you've had a very interesting start to the year.
मतलब एक week धमाकेदार रहा है.
Do you have any resolutions going into 2020?
Ayushi is gonna give me shade for this, but actually this year I was like, मैं क्या resolution करूँ? मेरे को नहीं करना. And I was like, F it, I don't want to make any resolutions.
I'm not going to give you shade for that. That's okay.
Because, since like I was 12 years old, my resolution has been to lose weight every year. And now I'm just like, bhai, hona nahi abhi.
I would have given... No, now I'm going to give you shade because your resolution sounds like you're saying, I'm not going to make a resolution.
Yeah.
You can't be one of those people
I'm
that
not
says
making
that.
any resolutions. My resolution was to make no resolutions.
Oh God, you are that person. You have to at least make one resolution. I insist.
did. I wanna live with the 3 Ds that my dadu told me, and the 4th D, which we all love anyway. The 3 Ds are dedication, devotion, and discipline.
Nice.
Yeah, so that has been my one resolution. At least live my life this year in a way that Adu would feel proud. That is the only resolution.
That's a good one. So you have a resolution.
Yeah.
So
Luckily, it is not to
emotional.
lose weight or anything. Otherwise, I'll be mind f***ed again year after year. Again, I've promised myself to lose weight. Too much pressure.
Oh, you could actually take it on.
I am so good looking anyway, Ayushi. I'll increase my self-confidence this year.
No, please, no. My resolution is to make sure that doesn't happen.
What is your resolution?
I had 2.
Say.
One was the same one that I made last year, and I hope it lasts longer than the last year, which was to take the stairs every day.
Oh yeah, I took the stairs up today.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
So I work on the 7th floor, so that was a big thing for me to do it
Yeah.
every day. And I managed last year till April,
Wow.
and then I stopped. So from this year, I'm hoping to make it till at least 6-7 months in.
Yeah.
That was one resolution. And the other one, which goes back to what we were talking about when I sent you that heavy heart thing, was just to give myself the allowance to work and react from a space of emotions.
Beautiful.
From like a place of emotion, as opposed to only from a place of like hyper overthinking things, or like making or trying to hyperly, what's the word? I think I'm a hyper-logical person sometimes, so I don't allow myself to think of it from a feelings perspective. That's kind of where I want to change.
I love that.
So that's kind of my...
That's your journey, like your next step of adulting this year. What you want to focus on.
Yes, because I think if I do that effectively, I'll have more confidence in my writing, in my like little silly art. See, I even say silly, but
silly
little
matlab,
art.
Okay, listeners, I have to just tell you, Ayushi is an amazing writer. Even though amazing is like a dumb adjective to use here, I'm sure there's a better adjective. She's a very, very good writer, and I can't wait for the world to read your words and see your art. She makes the best doodles.
I only share it with you.
Yeah, but Ayushi, jis din dunya padegi, hil jayegi.
So I think those are the things that I want to work on more, like being okay with my writing.
Accepting your
Own, because I think when I write about my feelings, and the fact that I don't put it out there is because I don't want to acknowledge that I've had them. So this year, if I start acknowledging that I have them and I'm capable of them, then I'll be okay with the literature that comes from there. Not literature like, oh, it is highbrow literature, but I mean like the words that come from there.
Words,
written words.
Yeah.
But those are mine.
And of course, my best and always resolution is to spend more time with you.
वो तो हो रहा है. We have this podcast. So now it's beautiful.
And to take one holiday with you also.
Honeymoon will happen. We take one every year.
Yeah, you all can send us suggestions.
You can also send us funding.
Again, a call to sponsors. If anyone wants to sponsor our show, we are two hot, young, intelligent 27-year-old girls.
That should be 2020's resolution.
Get a sponsor for the show.
I want to make more money.
Yeah. Nice.
I want more things. I know. I know the resolution should be to me moving towards a less material approach to life.
I just want more things, she says.
But I have my eye on many things.
Lol.
Like I always have one screen with a basket with 6 things in it. I don't know. I never click buy, but it's there. The basket is full.
It's very dangerous. You know that territory of keeping things in the cart? I find it very dangerous because I'm like, do I need this? No, I don't. I still have it in the cart. What should I do? Should I just buy it? And then some days I'm just like, I'm just going to buy it all right now. Like, do I really need it? Why have I ordered so many things?
Look. No, there's no look. I don't have a value thing. I just have a problem, which is my basket. Anyway, I think, do you have anything else that you'd like to say? Oh, I mean.
I want to sing a song for our listeners.
No, I forbid it.
Please.
What's the song you're going to sing?
Whatever you want to sing.
I don't want to sing. No, we're not singing. I think
Happy New Year to you.
That's not a song.
You can sing Happy Birthday to me. You didn't sing it yesterday. Okay, we don't.
Fine.
She's a very good singer also.
Okay, if you say that, then I'm going to think I'm a shit writer because I'm not a good singer.
No.
So do not.
She's actually a good writer and an average singer. Not bad at all. You can hold a tune. You were in the choir with me.
I was in the choir, but in the choir, you're one of many. So it doesn't matter. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tash. Happy birthday to you. Talia.
Beautiful. Thank you for joining us on the first episode of 2020.
We hope that you guys are with us for the rest of
the
this
year. Yeah.
We don't really know what Agla Station Adulthood is going to look like throughout this year, but, come along on the journey and we'll figure it out.
Always. Yes, that's how we figure out life, and that's how we figure out adulting and adulthood anyway.
Yes, and to all the people who have written in and told us they enjoy it and all the nice feedback as well as the constructive criticism, thank you so much for it. Keep it coming in. If there are any any topics that you would like us to discuss this year, genuinely please let us know, because we sometimes don't know what to talk about.
Yeah. And I just always want to talk about feelings, so you need to tell us.
Please, I'm begging you to give me topics.
So
otherwise, it's
escape.
Just because, guys, otherwise it's just like many more unstructured. We'll find the topic as we go episodes, which are just traumatic.
But the question
to me.
is, did you find the topic or did the topic find you?
I have to leave. I can't sit through this.
Okay, Ayushi, you know what? I think you can we should keep doing that chit-chat thing and the music will fade in and we'll fade out. You know how they do it on the talk shows?
Okay, Deep, you understood how this has to be
right?
edited,
Deep,
right?
Yeah, you can just edit it out and we're just going to keep chatting.
Okay, bye now.
Okay, bye now.
Wow, you suck.
माणसं ना गोल गप्प्यासारखी असतात. हाय हॅलो करताना वेगळी आणि बोलताना वेगळी आणि गप्पा मारताना वेगळी, मित्र झाली की वेगळी आणि शत्रू म्हणून वेगळी, थोडक्यात दिसणारी वेगळी आणि असणारी वेगळी, कधी आंबट, कधी गोड, कधी तिखट, तर कधी चमचमीत आणि कधी कधी हॉट अँड स्पायसी सुद्धा. आणि म्हणूनच गप्पा सॉरी गोल गप्पा विथ तृप्ती खामकर फक्त तुमच्यासाठी दर बुधवारी IVM पॉडकास्टच्या ऍपवर, वेबसाईटवर किंवा युट्यूब चॅनलवर सुद्धा ऐकू शकता. तुम्ही आमचा पॉडकास्ट वेगवेगळ्या पॉडकास्ट प्लॅटफॉर्मवरती ऐकू शकता. फक्त सर्च करा गोल गप्पा विथ तृप्ती खामकर आणि आमचा पॉडकास्ट ऐकत रहा.
Hi, I'm Satyajit.
Hi, I'm Racheta.
We are from the Open Library Project and we host a podcast called Paperback.
Paperback is a podcast where we engage with stalwarts and experts from various industries, suggesting non-fiction titles that contributed to their journey in a big way.
We've had guests like Anjali Raina, Dr. Marcus Rani, Dr. Swati Lodha, Ambi Parmeswaran, Apurva Damani, and many more on our show Paperback. Find new episodes every Wednesday on IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.